Like, comment, share, and subscribe. Hit that notification bell in the upper right-hand corner. Follow me on all forms of social media. Check me out at thatdrummerguy.com and enjoy the following presentation. Hello?
Yeah, what's up, Josh?
Hey,
Yeah,
how's it
what's
going?
up, Josh? This is Jyrki from the 69 Eyes. How's it going, man?
I'm doing great. Thank you very much for taking time to do this interview.
Yeah, anytime, sir.
Oh, awesome. Well, of course,
Any old time.
Awesome. Well, of course, we're here to talk about the brand new album from 69 Eyes, West End, which is coming out the 13th of September through Nuclear Blast. I've gotten the chance to be able to check out this album, and I just love what's going on here with where the band is
thank you,
at now
sir.
in 2019. I mean, it just feels like such an authentic look of where the band is right now in 2019 from start to finish, and it's great to see that.
Thank you, sir.
With that in mind, how did the songwriting process begin for the new album?
Well, it's like same old way, like always. It's our lead guitarist Basie who writes all the music mostly. There could have been some riffs or ideas from other guitarist or bass player, but I have no idea because I'm delivered like full ready instrumental songs, and like they have all the structure. Maybe later on, after I've thrown out some demo vocals over there, maybe then we realize it needs some special part. But we have pretty simple song structure, simple rock and roll, like always we had. And I got these instrumental songs, and I, like I said, I have no idea who's written it, but I most likely suspect that it's our lead guitarist. So it doesn't matter. So then I just I listened to them, and immediately I got the idea. It seriously like happens to this. I listened to it once or maybe twice, but most likely seriously like two or even one time, and then I just had the idea for the chorus, and I sort of like I'm kind of like evil way. I'm kind of dictator in that sense. Like if I had to return to song like over and over again, and it doesn't inspire me to write anything, then I sort of like put it to the return it like a sorry I didn't, this song didn't inspire me. So, and we've been doing this like always like this, and these days you don't even have to meet anybody. You just get you get just like a Dropbox link, and the songs are there. And this time it was actually kind of funny that I like to tell this story because it's really true. It sounds like very well, it's true. So I got a bunch of songs, let's say like 6 songs, and then I flew all the way to LA, and I was partying in Hollywood, and I went back to my hotel, and sun was coming up, and it's pretty cool, like a cool moment, like sun's coming up. Sunset Strip is like only a couple of cars driving, and very quiet. And I thought that, all right, I'm actually not tired, so maybe I should try this magical moment to write some lyrics. I have the demos here. So I started to listen to the demos and came up with something. Like hotel rooms have like little note papers and pen. So I wrote something down, and that's about it. Then I go back home. A couple of weeks later, I listened to the songs again, and I was like, these songs are not happening. Even though I wrote something down a couple of weeks earlier, but when I come back home, it's I don't hear anything. I'm like, I called to the producer, Johnny Lee Michaels, like, what are we gonna do? I don't like these songs. These are kind of, there's nothing happening in these songs. And then they gave me a couple of more songs, not many, but a couple of more, but it was still the same amount of the same old songs, couple of more new ones. And then I go back a couple of months or month later, I don't remember. I went back to LA once again, partying, starting to listen to songs like in the wee hours. And then I was like, wow, this is fantastic, and these songs rock. And then I fly back home, and I was inspired, and then I got the idea of the songs. But I seriously like started to write something, and then I listened to them again back at home, and I couldn't hear anything. So I didn't do that on that purpose, but I just flew back, partied a bit, and gave the songs a second chance during the wee hours, and then there was a magic. And many songs from those are on the album. For instance, 27 and Done was some of the songs which was inspired like instantly about like what's going on in Hollywood, like how desperate young people have always been there, but especially these days with the toxic social media and everything, it was just fruitful to look around what's happening, and put all this, what you see to that song. And it's kind of dark humor, of course. It's a good time song, but there's a lot of heavy dose of dark humor there as well. But yeah, that was this. Maybe it was a process, but a little bit different one.
Yeah, and I love that too. I mean, sometimes it just takes being at the right place at the right time to really feel inspired. And it's great, considering what fills the album. I mean, the fact that it was in Hollywood at that morning hours, seeing the sun coming up, and just being inspired like that.
If you experience that any morning anywhere in the world, it's fantastic. If you have a chance to be awake when sun comes up anywhere in the world, that's something that we shouldn't miss. I mean, it happens every day. But if you think of it, how many times you've been there to see that. So, I love that moment. And it sounds like a fucking cliche and maybe like a bullshit, like, oh, that place where I went and then I went back and so on. But it really happened that way. I just like to tell how it is. And it's fun, and then, we've been doing this so long. So, and it's like a lifestyle and lifelong adventure at the same time. So I like to use creating something new also as an excuse to go wherever else than being just at home, which I of course love. But and in this, my home inspires me other ways. But sometimes you get sparks from being somewhere else.
Yeah, and sometimes that's all it takes. And I'm glad to see the final product turned out as amazing as it has from being that inspired, because you just never know how it would have turned out had that inspiration never been there.
Yeah, well, I like to. I've been like playing a little game with this new record as I've been giving interviews. I've been saying that our previous album was like is our worst album, and even though it's done with the same producer, and the new one is our best album, just to make it a little bit more interesting. Maybe if you're reading an interview or listening a podcast or something, and I'm telling, oh, hey, the last album 3 years ago, that's our worst record, and this new one is the best one. That sounds more interesting than saying like, oh, this and that different than previous one. So, but I actually sort of feel like that at the moment. So yeah. So and life should be like that. I mean, I hope if you're creative, you should be, like a feeling that you're at your best every time you deliver something new. But I think with the 69 Eyes, I think it's obvious if you look at what we are doing at the moment, if you're listening to new songs, see us live, see our, if you can come to see us live, unfortunately, see how we are on the when we play on stage. I think it's obvious that the band is our best at the moment. We are really where everything's great, and we are as enthusiastic like as always. And even though it's no longer 1989 when we started, it's it's 2019, and so, but it's good times. We're excited, and the band is fucking rocking harder than ever. And I think that's also needed. I mean, unfortunately, we are living in the world without Motorhead. Today, as we speak, we lost Elvis Presley. 1977, and a lot of other rockers between that and before that, So, rock and roll is needed, and the 69 Eyes is here to deliver that.
Yeah, and again, I mean, that's what I'm loving so much about West End is the fact that you absolutely prove that even after 30 years of starting the band, so many highs and lows that have been going on in rock and roll, that you are still able to deliver the best material the band has done to date. And I honestly feel that way about this album as well. I mean, just everything from the production to the songwriting to, whether it's the dark humor or something more serious and horror driven, like The Last House on the Left, it's just like there's always something there for everyone if you've ever enjoyed the 69 Eyes, but just done in 2019, and I love it for that.
No, thank you for that comment. And it's definitely nowadays, as we are living in the world of algorithms, we can tell who are the people who follow us, if they are in the internet, and that's kind of weird too. But our music is not on the playlists, so there is no such a thing that the passive 69 Eyes listener, everybody who's listening our music, so the algorithms tell to us, are there on purpose. They choose to listen to our band. They don't listen to our music passively from those playlists, which could be also nice. But as our fans are devoted fans, and as where we go to play, they come to see us, and they have done that 10 years, 20 years, some a little bit less, So we know to whom we make this music. We know the vampires around the world who come to our shows and who listen to our music. So it's also like that's what it is, and that's we are happy that they are there, and I think that's also they are happy, these vampires around the world, that we've been doing this 30 years for them, and it's kind of that's which unites us every time we come to play in your town or we release an album. We're together those moments.
Oh, absolutely. So with that in mind of knowing the algorithms and knowing who is actively listening to the 69 Eyes these days, how hard was it deciding what singles were going to be released off the album?
Oh, I didn't want to. I had some ideas, but at some point for instance, we're still old-fashioned in many ways. I think it's just I would say it's more cute. For instance, our lead guitarist changed the track order of the album about 4 times, and that made it kind of weird because we had album covers. If somebody ever gets our release as a physical product, we had there will be physical products vinyl and CD. So we had those, and those have, if somebody even remembers, those have a paper cover. So the cover artwork was done, and the track list was there, and the lyrics was there. And then he changed them 4 times because he was listening it back and forward, and he wanted certain order in the album. So which is kind of super old school. I don't know if that matters to anybody, because maybe people listen to this, they put a shuffle on or something, but we spend time for that. We are careful. We keep that art form alive. So it's and then when it comes to but I didn't have any not so much to say about that. I just wanted to tell what's the first song gonna be and what's probably the last song gonna be on the album. I don't care about what's between that. And then the singles, the 27 and Done, which I already said, that was just I thought it was so fucking sick. We released it as a first single in the spring, and now during the summer we played some festivals. So it's been kind of very weird to we in Finland we play very big festivals. We can have 10,000 people in front of us, and then majority being fans, as we hear we're here more like a mainstream band, so it's weird to play a song which chorus goes like, "Let's all die young. It's so easy and fun." So I thought it was fun when I wrote it, and I thought it's like kind of fucked up sense of humor from me. But when it really is happening that way and that scale, I was even shocked by myself. So that anyway, that has to be the first song to get it out, and the other singles, well, that somebody else had thought that those two other singles, we have now like 3 singles by far. It seems to be like how the things are done these days. So first, in May, we released 27 and Done, which was like also released as a video. Then there was a lyrics video single, which means usually there's a picture of the band and lyrics are running on the screen, but now we wanted to a little bit have like more there. So there's a beautiful biker girl driving Black Harley in the video. So it's really more like a music video, really. And that was a song called Cheyenne. And then the third single, which is also a lyrics video, so the lyrics running on the screen, but behind that there's like road movie kind of picture of the 69 Eyes playing in LA, and that single is called Black Orchid. And then the 4th single comes out at the same time as the album, and that has a real music video with it. And that's a song called Two Horns Up, and it features Dani Filth from Cradle of Filth. And that was the first song, the first single, 27 and Done. That's what I really wanted. I was like voting for that, and then I was voting for Two Horns Up, because it would be super fun to have Dani Filth, on our music video, and those things matter to me. The other two are cool choices as well. But I think the whole album has its moments. There's a couple of songs which might be my favorite songs at the moment as we speak, more than the singles,
Oh, absolutely. And, I think it's been a great job so far showing off 3 different kinds of songs that are on this album. And it's great to see that Two Horns Up is going to be getting a full music video with Dani Filth. And that leads right into something I'm very curious about, is the amazing guest vocalists that show up on this album. How did that come together?
Well, I mean, we have all these couple of guests there. So everything's based on friendship and very long term in our case. I mean, we've been doing this for 30 years. So we've known everybody for 29 years. So Dani Filth, I've known like 25 years. Ever since Cradle of Filth played here in Helsinki, Finland, we became friends. I was DJing at their show, and we hit the night and started to partying, and we've been partying ever since, actually. And we did a tour. The 69 and Cradle of Filth did a North American tour some nearly 15 years ago. And I haven't seen Dani Filth for nearly a decade, but I just saw him last year in Hollywood, and then we started talking like maybe we should team up again, do something cool than just getting wasted at the Rainbow Bar and Grill. And then the idea was to have him on our new album, and actually our producer Johnny Michaels had an idea to have Dani on the Two Horns Up opening track, which was perfect. And he's on another track, and that goes to other guests. We have Wednesday 13, old friend ever since Murder Dolls days. We've been touring all over Europe, US, UK with Wednesday 13, like so many times I don't even remember. And I haven't seen him for a decade as well. Once again, I was in Hollywood. It seems like you meet everybody. If you go there, you meet there. Everybody's there all the time. So it's a very creative place to go, let me tell you. So I ran into him in Hollywood, and I was like, "Hey, what's up? Like, we haven't done anything for a decade as well. Let's do something." And I invited him to write a song with me on our album, and I had already the idea for The Last House on the Left, which is the title of the song. Also, it's a title of Wes Craven movie from 1972. There's also a remake, which I would really highly recommend to everybody. It's a really good remake of that original movie. So I had a song title, some loose lyrics. So I wanted him to finish the lyrics and write the storyline, like in the movie. But for the story, we needed a female voice. So the only female voice that came to my mind was Calico Cooper from Bisto Blanco. And Calico Cooper is also part of a family. The 69 Eyes, filmed a video for our song Never Say Die. I think it was 2007, and it was filmed in Los Angeles as well. And there's a scene that the band plays by the LA River, and then there's skate punks and glam people and a lot of like cool looking girls dancing around the band. And then maybe a year later, somebody pointed out like, oh, you got Alice Cooper's daughter in your video. And we're like, what? And Calico Cooper is in that video actually dancing around the band. We didn't know her by then, but there's a connection. So she's part of the family as well. So eventually there's this song, Two Horns Up, with Dani Filth on the album. And then there's a song called The Last House on the Left, which has not only Wednesday 13, Calico Cooper, but also Dani Filth. It's sort of like the coolest horror punk rock for Halloween 2019 for everybody, who are all the madmen out there. Madmen only.
Yeah, oh, and I love that too. I love the way that all came together with all three guest vocalists on the album,
Yeah,
and then all of them on such a great song.
Yeah, it should be like like in our case, I love everything has to, be about friendship and things that you've done with your friends for a long time, and sometimes team up and do, whether it's a tour, song, or something like that. So in this case, it was just about the cool to invite your friends over the album, and interesting friends that I know, and I hope that our fans are excited to have there. And it seems like, and it's kind of like what similarities Cradle of Filth and 69 Eyes have. Pretty much, like if you look at it like that, nothing. But if you come to our shows, half the people are wearing Cradle of Filth t-shirts, and and we've been touring with them, and I think we share the same kind of cartoonish essence and outlook to the music what we do. And I'm a huge Cradle of Filth fan, and I really love the band, always did. So it's an honor, and I'm happy, and it's good to be friends. But it's kind of sometimes dangerous when we go to bars.
Oh, I can imagine, but with that in mind, going back to it musically, I love the fact, and it proves the point again that good music is good music. I mean, whether it's in the style of Cradle of Filth, whether it's in the style of the 69 Eyes, it's just like when the friendship is there and you're able to appreciate each other's music, even when it is different, it just shows that good people are good people, and good music is good music.
Yeah, and I can't wait for all of us with these old bands to tour at some point, and that's on plans. Trust me on that, and don't know any dates and when exactly, but we're gonna announce it soon. So that's obvious as we teamed up on this album. So we got a tour at some point, and we're gonna do it in 2020.
Oh, that's got me excited. I mean, no matter where you go to tour with that, once everything becomes official and stuff like that, I mean, I'm glad to see that that's going to happen. I mean, what good timing to be able to pull that off.
Yeah, well, I mean, there's not so much cool stuff going on these days, and whether we're old rockers who have been doing this like couple of decades, we 3 decades, so it's we have to stick together and team up and like support each other way or another. And also I know that the fans respect that, and it's just like carrying the torch. Carrying the torch that Lemmy gave us.
Oh, very much so.
Or left us, but gave us, either way. And besides, we have actually like 4 minutes. So, yeah.
Oh yeah, I was just about to wrap things up with that too.
Okay. Yeah, cool.
Yeah, I was just saying that it's so great to see all of that was in the plans right now. You know, coming up for 2020, and kind of like the theme of what's going on with West End. You know, not knowing how much longer we're gonna even be here, either as a species or just our selves as individuals. I mean, as long as we're here, you know, just being able to go out there, tour with friends, being able to tour for the fans and stuff like that. I mean, it sounds like there's a lot of amazing times still left ahead for the 69 Eyes, and it's great to see that.
Yeah, and all of us rockers still who are around, we just like, and actually there's a song about even that on the album, which is called "Be Here Now." These are the best times. These are the best times we're ever given, and we shouldn't take this time as granted, but we should, you know, rock, enjoy, have good times, because these are the only times that we'll given ever, you know.